So here then, I want to suggest out of this text and out of the story is how you should see your life today. And the first of all is that we need to see everything that we have and are as belonging to God. In other words, the sum total of our personal beings, our time, our talents, and our treasures, we need to look at them as belonging to God. He is the owner of it all, and that He is loaning it to us for a period of time of our lives here on earth. Psalm 24, verse 1 says, "The earth is the Lord's, and everything in it, and the world and all who live in it. It's God's." 1 Chronicles 29, 11 and 12, David, the king of Israel, says, "Lord, yours, O Lord, is the greatness and the power and the glory and the majesty and the splendor. For everything in heaven and on earth is yours. Yours, O Lord, is the kingdom. You are exalted as head over all. Wealth and honor come from you. You are the ruler of all things. In your hands are strength and power to exalt and give strength to all." So the first thing we see is God owns it all, not you. It's God. And that He's loaning it to you. And that means we are then responsible for how we manage our time, our talents, our treasures on earth, how we use those. 1 Corinthians, Paul writes this in 6:19 and 20. "You are not your own. You were bought with a price, therefore honor God with your body." Always see yourself as belonging to God, and you are responsible to Him for your lifestyle. Luke 12:48, "From everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded, and from the one who has been entrusted with much, more will be asked." Third, we then seek to discover how to best accomplish the management of these three, our time, our talents, and our treasures for Him, and then we seek to carry it out. And so that means I ask myself, how am I to best use my time? How can I best spend my money? How can I best use my abilities? And so a wise servant is one who discovers what his master expects in these three areas and then carries it out. And that's why Jesus says it will be good for that servant whose master finds him doing so when he returns. Now, to learn that, then what do I have to do? I have to read the Bible. I have to find out what God's expectations are, become aware of them, and then carry them out. So in each of these areas, I'm to study the Word and to think it through, what God would have me use it for. In the issue of my time, I start reading the Bible and the passages that talk about the use of my time, how I use my time. Ephesians 5:15, I used it as an illustration. "Therefore be careful how you walk, not as unwise men, but as wise, making the most of your time." What does that mean? Not wasting time. Using it judiciously to the best of your ability. And it goes on to say, because the days are evil. And that means every 24 hours of my day need to be wisely used, not wasted. The proper amounts of time of work, play, rest, interaction with others. Taking a weekly Sabbath, not abusing my body by giving it the rest that it requires. Ensuring the priorities such as work, family, and church are properly taken care of. And that's what this series is going to look at, is the use of your time. And so then the second one is the issue of our treasures. And Jesus talks about use your worldly wealth to gain friends for yourselves, so that when it is gone, you will be welcomed into eternal dwellings. And that means you use the money and the property that God has entrusted with me and properly invest them. I'm to provide for my physical needs and those for whom I'm responsible, such as my family, my church, my community, and such. And then my talents, 1 Peter 4:10, each should use whatever gift he has received to serve others faithfully and is ministering God's grace in his various forms. And I discover the way God has shaped me, and then I use those abilities to accomplish accordingly what he wants accomplished here on earth. And if I have the ability, such as I have the illustration here playing the piano, I use it for God's glory, like we see Crystal and Paul and Jessica and Rebecca this morning in the band using their talents for God. So all of these in the Bible, this is called Stewardship, and someone has said stewardship is what a person does after he says, I believe. Colossians 1:17 says, and whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, giving thanks to God our Father. And so that means God provides, we dispense, we manage our time, our treasures, and our talents for God. We use what we have been given for God's glory. That's a wise servant.